Good evening, YouTube. It's actually Saturday, May 20th, and it's time for another shop video. And in this video, we've got something pretty neat on the bench. This is my Cisco 2610 router. This is a professional grade router that is actually quite old, and it was given to me, and I restored this router and actually put it into my home network and used it for several years. I've had this router for probably about 5 years or so, and I used it to learn Cisco iOS, which, for those of you that know, iOS, or what is known as Internet Working Operating System, not to be confused with the iOS that Apple iPhones use, is the operating system that Cisco, professional Cisco routers use. And I'm not talking about the consumer grade Cisco / Linksys stuff that you can get over at Staples. No, this is a professional grade Cisco unit. These routers, typically when new, and sometimes even when they're used, depending on the model of router, usually run between $2,000 and $3,000 brand new. They are very expensive to get a hold of, so to have one given to me, it was a very lucky thing. Unfortunately, this router cannot handle gigabit Ethernet, and if you've watched my fiber video, you know that fiber optic will soon be entering the neighborhood. Well, unfortunately, this router can't handle the speed. In fact, it was bottlenecking the network to begin with, and I'll talk more about that in another video when I talk about the new router / firewall that I'm using and why it's so great. But what I wanted to talk about today was, number one, I wanted to let everybody see the router, and number two, if you happen to have one of these routers, and there's many models of Cisco router or even switch, network switch, if you happen to have real Cisco equipment that's about to be retired, you must remove the configuration files from the equipment before they go into the transfer station, which is what I'm going to do here. And the way we do that, the way we talk to these routers, is a little bit unique, unless you, by default, unless you've specifically changed the setting, which I did do. By default, the only way you actually communicate with these routers to look at or configure them is via serial console. And I'm going to see if I can get an up-close shot of what it looks like. This is what the serial console looks like. What I have here is, come on, come into focus. There we go. What I have here is a program called Putty on the computer that I have set up, which is going to wind up going to our car show, which is coming up and used as part of my display. But it's got a program called Putty on it that has a serial console that is tied in to this computer via some adapters, USB to 9-pin serial, and then a 9-pin serial cord into the back of the Cisco. And once you get into the serial console, this is the prompt that you get. For those of you that know, yes, I am in enable mode, which is basically the root mode of this router that lets me get in and change the actual configuration of the router. And what it also allows me to do is wipe the configuration of the router, which I'm about to go do off camera, and then this router will be safe for the transfer station. So if you happen to have if you're a business that happens to have one of these routers that is going to be retired, you want to make note of this. As always, be sure to rate, comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. I'll see everybody soon. Bye-bye.